Some stories are too painful to have made sense while they were happening. Joseph's brothers stripped him of his favorite coat, threw him into a pit, and sold him into slavery, all before he turned 18. If you had asked Joseph in that pit what God was doing, he would not have had an answer. There was no version of that moment that looked like the beginning of anything good. That is often how betrayal feels while you are inside it. Not like a setup for something greater. Just like loss, just like injustice, just like a door slamming shut on a future you had hoped for. If you are sitting in your own version of that pit right now, abandoned by people you trusted, set back by circumstances you did not choose, you are in the right place. Joseph went from that pit into Potiphar's house, then from a position of trust into a prison cell over a crime he did not commit. An entire decade of his life moved through betrayal, false accusation, and forgotten promises before anything changed, and yet, when the moment finally came for Joseph to speak to the brothers who started it all, his words were not bitter. But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive. Genesis 50 verse 20, NKJV. Notice Joseph did not deny what happened to him. He did not pretend the pit was not real, or that the betrayal did not hurt. He held both truths at once: what they did was evil, but what God did with it was good. Those two things were never in competition with each other. The years that felt wasted were not. There is a verse tucked into the Psalms that summarizes Joseph's story in a way that should bring you comfort if you are in a long, confusing season right now. He sent a man before them, Joseph, who was sold as a slave. They hurt his feet with fetters, he was laid in irons. Until the time that his word came to pass, the word of the Lord tested him. Psalm 105 verse 17 to 19, NKJV, that phrase, until the time that his word came to pass, tells you something important. The promise over Joseph's life had a set time, and everything he walked through before that time, the pit, the false accusation, the years in prison, was not God forgetting him. It was the testing ground the promise had to pass through before it could be fulfilled. Your wait is not proof that the promise is gone. It may simply mean the appointed time has not yet arrived, and what feels like wasted years right now may be the very ground your future is being built on. God has not given up on you. If God could take a pit, a false accusation, and a forgotten prison cell, and turn all of it into the exact path that saved an entire nation, He has not lost the ability to do the same with whatever you are walking through right now. Your story is not disqualified because it includes a chapter you did not choose. So was Joseph's story too, and it became the chapter that made everything else possible. This is where we will pause for now, but it is not where Joseph's story ends, and it is not where this series ends either. In the posts ahead, we are going to walk slower through each part of Joseph's journey, the pit, the betrayal, the prison, and the promotion, because there is more healing waiting in the details than one post can hold. Something to think about. What is the version of the pit in your own life, the moment that felt like an ending rather than a beginning? Where have you been measuring God's faithfulness by how quickly your situation changed, instead of by what He is building underneath it? What would it look like to hold both truths Joseph held, naming what happened as wrong while still trusting God with what comes next? Prayer. Lord, there are parts of my story that still feel like a pit, and I do not always see how you could use them for good. Help me trust you the way Joseph did, holding the pain honestly while still believing you are working underneath it. Bring my appointed time to pass the way you brought Joseph's, in Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Challenge. Do write down one season of your life that felt wasted or unfair at the time. Beside it, write one way you can already see God may be using it even partially. Let that be the start of trusting Him with the rest. Today's post was titled "The Pit was not the end of Joseph's story, and it is not the end of yours." Share it with someone close to you now. God bless you.